Alright guys, we're in line, registration, let's see. And down that way. Say hi guys. And down that way. So, I got registered last night. These guys are registering this morning. So, we're getting ready to have some fun. Let's take a look at their armies here real quick. We got some cool knights. And then we got some hidden bugs over here. Oh yeah. And we got some bugs in the case. A little hard to see. But that's what we're doing. We'll get more shots and stuff in later on. But just wanted to give a quick update. Alright, bye everybody. Colonel Drac is here. We just got back from Las Vegas Open a couple days ago now. Today is Thursday. We came back on Monday, so we've been home finally a couple days. Just been trying to relax and get things back to normal. I don't think I did a army review before I went, so I wanted to go ahead and record one now and kind of tell you what the list does. And then after this, I've got some videos of recap of the games and some interviews with my opponents. So stay tuned for that. I think I may cut it into 2 parts for day 1 and day 2. But we'll see how that goes. I haven't finished editing anything yet. I wanted to go ahead and get this video done so we can kind of use this as a jumping off point. Now my first bat rep also I think starts at the end of my turn 1. And that's typically how things ended up going for the battle reports, is because every game I played on a clock, and I didn't want to like waste my time or my opponent's time telling him to stop, let me do some recording or whatever. So after my turn, oh, light went off. After my turn and they started their turn, I would go ahead and start doing the video while they were moving and doing what they needed to do, so we didn't waste any time. So that's how those will be formatted, and let's go over the list here. Alright, so here's the list. Ignore the stuff in the back there. Got quite a bit on my gaming table right now. But, so here's the list. It is 3 Exalted Keepers of Secrets, Shalaxi, and Bellacore. 90 Demonettes. We've got 6 units of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got 1 unit of 30 here in the front. And then 2 units of 1 Fiend. So we've got it broken down into a battalion and a patrol detachment. The battalion has 2 of the keepers and Shalaxi. So the redhead here is my warlord. She has the Soul Stealer relic, which is the relic sword. So every model she kills with the sword, she'll heal a wound. She's got the whip. Her warlord trait is the -1 attack aura. I believe it's called Bewitching Aura. It's -1 attack within 6 inches of her. And then I chose her exalted trait, which was a 4-up invulnerable save. The other keeper in that battalion is the Blondie over here. Now she has exalted as well, but I rolled randomly for her traits. And she had a relic as well, which was the Whip of Agony. Relic Whip, which is Assault 6, -3, 2 damage, but it auto wounds, which is nice. So that really helped out in some situations. And then the last of the HQs for that is Shalaxi. So all the keepers had Hysterical Frenzy, including Shalaxi, because if they got caught in combat, I want to make sure that they would be able to get another round of fighting if they were in the psychic phase, still in combat.
and then they each had one unique power. So let's see. Blondie had she had Delightful Agonies for the 6 that feel no pain. Our Warlord had Symphony of Pain for -1 to hit to the closest unit. Shalaxi had Pavane of Slaanesh, and then the brunette here had Phantasmagoria, which is a 12-inch aura of -1 leadership. So in that battalion for troops, we had, of course, the 6 units of 10 Demonettes, no upgrades, just basic 10-man Demonette squads. And then for elites, we had the 2 units of 1 Fiend. For the battalion, we had Be'lakor. So Be'lakor was in there with Pall of Despair and I can't remember his other spell offhand. So yeah, he had two of the basic spells that most people always take with him. I can't remember what the other one is named right offhand. And then the other last Keeper of Secrets here, the brunette. No relic on her. I found in just games over time that the second relic is just too expensive CP wise. So it's just those 2 HQs and then the 30 blob of Demonettes. So generally how the games worked and kind of the plan was to keep the big monsters on the front line and make use as much of the 4-up invulnerable saves and defensive capabilities if they got them for their exalted traits. So right now we've got our Warlord with a 4-up, and then Be'lakor has a 4-up, and Be'lakor is -1 to be hit at all times, cannot reroll hits against him, and then -1 to wound and shooting. So he could take some damage, so a lot of time, and he's a little bit slower, so he'll sit up front quite a bit to take some shooting to protect the other ladies. And then if the other 2 exalted roll like 4-up invulnerable save or -1 to be wounded or extra movement or something like that, then they generally got pushed closer to the front. Shalaxi was generally in the back. She's coming a lot of real handy mid to late game if she's still around, so I try to keep her as less of a threat initially, so she could come in later in the game and really do some business. So that's generally how it worked. We had the 10-mans jump on objectives, raise banners, do what they needed to do. The Fiends did a lot of movement for engage in all fronts or to grab objectives that were a little bit further away. And then the 30-man kind of generally punched up to either the center or just off to one side. More of a distraction than anything else. They got a couple good targets during some of the games, and we'll probably see those. They tied up the center quite a bit. Generally just a nuisance to try to kill. So we'll see that in the recaps as well. But just want to kind of show you the list I took, kind of what they did, and we'll go from there. So let's go on to game 1.
Four, AP -1, 2 damage each.
Cool. So you said 4?
Yep.
Alright, so this is the Squighog boys and the Be'lakor here. It's got a 4-up invuln. He fails 1.
2 damage.
2 damage. Alright. So Be'lakor's taking 2. We'll get that on him. So this is game 1 against Orcs, turn 1. We're just getting into the combat phase here. Alright, I just finished top of turn 1. We were able to push in on objective. We raised banners on those 3. We killed the truck. Some guys blew up. Be'lakor killed the Squighogs. The last Squighog here ran. This keeper had whipped these guys and they failed morale, so they're just moving over here now.
over here. There was only one commando left for combat, so we just murdered her and then pushed on to the objective there. He's got guys around the corner here. So we tried to screen a little bit with the Fiend over there. But let's see what happens. Alright, end of Slaanesh turn 2. Bellacor's dead, the Keeper's dead. The other Keeper's dead. We've got one Keeper there and Shalaxi. Shalaxi ran around, killed a buggy. We had the Fiend and the Demonettes pile in there, killed the orcs there after she hit him with the whip. Piled into the buggy with the Fiend. Buggy killed the Fiend. We piled our 30 Demonettes into the couple orcs that were left over there, took that back. There was a buggy over here behind the building. We killed that. And then we came in over here and failed the charge. So we're seeing what's going to go on next on Orcs turn 2. Alright, this is end of Slaanesh 3, start of Orc 3. So he's doing his movement. We just did his scoring. He's only on one objective over here. So I was able to take this one with the charge and then took this one back with the charge. Because we moved the 10 Demonettes from over there over here and charged, and then the unit that was here charged. The 30 blob from here moved over to stay on that one, and then we still have 3 over there, and they're raising banners again. And then we've got these ones over here that raise banners over there. Shalaxi moved up, whipped these boys, charged the buggy, killed it, and that's where we're at. So now he's moving in position to charge Shalaxi, and then kill these Demonettes, and we'll see what happens. I think we might be okay as long as we can hold on to these 4 objectives. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll see how that goes, because if we hold, at least we'll have 15 for our primary. So all right, let's see what happens. All right, so we finished up Orc turn 3 and Slaanesh turn 4. Basically killed the guys off here. I moved this unit back on the edge, moved these guys forward to try to move block. The girls that were over there moved all the way back. Shalaxi ended up dying over here, but they killed the kill rig, and that was about it. So I didn't charge or shoot anything on my turn. I've just got some Demonettes left. We're just trying to hold on to the objectives. We're going to max out primary. Engage is looking good. Assassinate not so much, but we're just trying to stay alive and score as many points. All right, end of what turn was this? End of my turn 5. So I'm just moved over to hide them. They stayed. I was dumb, kept the Demonettes over there instead of following them back, just to hold the point and get table quarters. So they tried to fight and kill the war boss, but they failed, so they died. But things are still looking good. So he's just trying to grab banners and see how we do, and there we'll go from there. All right, so we just finished up turn 5. He was able to take this objective, and then that objective on my turn, so he ended up with these 4. So he finally got Stranglehold. He killed a unit because I left him in combat over there, so he finally got Grind. And end result here was, just looking at it, 88 to 65. So great game, and we'll see how we continue. What do you mind being on camera?
Oh,
okay. All right. Well, what's your name, bud? Nick. All right, and you're with Blood God.
With Blood God Gaming
okay.
group based out of Maryland.
Oh, fantastic! How was the flight out?
Long.
Yeah. Cool.
And my back was killing me.
Oh, I'm sure. All right. So what did you think of this Slaanesh Demon? Not a lot of people playing on these days.
So I had forgotten how oppressive it gets on turn 1, especially if you get turn 1, well, top of turn 1, as you did. I think I definitely got a little overconfident with my secondary choices. Stranglehold, well, Grind them down was definitely a mistake. Because I was hoping to just trade 1-for-1 units with your greater demons. Obviously, that didn't happen. And
the big stumpy monsters kind of threw a wrench in that.
Yeah, and Stranglehold, once again, I thought I could use my OBSEC to my advantage there. but with 90 demonettes on the table that I can't really do a whole lot about.
Cool.
It just worked. It just didn't really work out for me. So, I mean, it's a really good list. You need a lot of different tools to deal with it, and I just didn't have the tools for it.
Well, you were very successful at killing all the big demons that were in your face, including Be'lakor. He's normally pretty tough, but the boys dragged him down for the WA.
Beast Snagger boys, I get bonuses against monsters.
Perfect. All right. Well, again, good game, bud. Thanks so much, and best of luck on your other games.
All right. Thank you. You too.
All right, game 2, we're facing Crusher Stampede. Awesome frickin' models all the way across here. Boom, we got the big boys, and then we've got some warriors in the back. This is how we're set up. We've got 2 objectives here, 2 in the middle, and then 2 more there. And Tyranids are going first, so let's see what happens. All right, we just finished turn 1. We're raising banners here and here. We got up on that objective. We're alive on 1 wound. He's got 7 there. Be'lakor went in. Shalaxi went in. So he's got 6 left here. He's got 3 left here. All the demonettes charged in. He's got 13 left here just from the demonettes. 17 on that one. And so that's where we're at. So he's moving for his turn 2. Alright, we're Crusher Stampede, turn 3. He's shooting right now, he's slamming into the girls. We were able to kill one over here. We were able to get to the back and kill that thing. Still chugging along over here, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 objectives right now. We're just going to hope for the objective game because he's just killing my monsters left and right. We'll see how this goes. Alright, top of turn 4, Tyranids are moving. We were able to kill the high turn over here, but the hurdle here was able to kill our Shalaxi. We were able to make a charge back here on the warriors and the Neurothrope. And we kind of spread out here to grab the objectives in here. So he's got to kind of split his shooting and combat and everything to try to take those away. And that's where we're at. Alright, top of turn 5. He fell back with his HQ over here. Fell back with his warrior. Where's he going? Big man. Still full wounds. Alright. And then he's got big man over there. Alright, we only have about just under 50 minutes left in the round, but this is top of turn 5. So it looks like we're going to come to a natural conclusion on the game, and we'll come back at the end here. Alright guys, end of game board state basically here. So he had this guy here, he had his Psyker there, and the warrior there, that's about it. We left one guy there. We fell back with these 2 to keep the objective. We had these. He was able to kill the one demonette that we had over there with him, and then the other 2 we had there with him. And that was it. So end of the game, 92-66. So awesome game. Do you mind being on video and just give me a little bit of recap? You're good? All right. So what was your name again, bud? Will. All right, well, so what was your thought? I mean, not a lot of people play the Slaanesh demons, and we were just talking, a lot of demonettes to get through.
Yeah, it's tough. Like, those keepers are so fast, and they put out so much damage. Like, there's no way I can keep them away long enough to start picking them off. and then that whole half of the board was tied up with that 30-man blob for the entire game.
Yeah.
Even the Daemons chew through and kill the Horizon.
Yeah, eventually just the sixes to wound finally got through that one big guy, and I thought that the -1 damage from the Crusher Stampede really saved it quite a bit there, and top of the invulnerables, because like Shalaxi's a -4, and then like with all the claws, sixes to wound are -4, so that really saved a lot of damage.
Well, we did deny a lot of my psychic powers and not being able to get the 4 up in vulnerable save off. That was quite tough. And it was big when you had like a 4-inch charge of Be'lakor and you denied my power. That was huge.
Yeah, when you moved up over here and you're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna cast was it Onslaught?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, we'll deny that. Now you're kind of stuck out in the open.
If I'd got him in, I would have done 6 mortal wounds on the charge.
Right.
Before you got your feel no pain, and then I've essentially got to land, got to get 2 past your invuln to kill him on averages. So that would have been a major.
But
change.
he still stuck around. He ended up killing that Keeper of Secrets that was there, messing up a bunch of Demonettes. I don't know if maybe I should have gone with Be'lakor into him as well. Maybe just get him off the table. But
if you'd gone with Be'lakor to him, I would have had more shooting.
You would have had more stuff over here.
He did well to tie up all of my shooting for the entire game.
Yeah.
Just keeping things in combat.
Well, awesome. Well, thank you again so much, bud. Thanks for flying out and making the trip.
Yeah.
And on to the next game, guys. Alright guys, round 3 against Deathwatch. We went first. We're kind of playing a little cagey this time. So he deployed back a ways. So we weren't going to be able to get to him turn 1, so we're trying to draw him into the middle here, see what happens. He already killed Fiend in Overwatch, and he's going to be making some moves over this way. So let's clear the way and see what happens. Alright, we just finished Slaanesh turn 2. We got 1 banner, we got Stranglehold. These girls ganged up on a poor little squad of dudes with shotguns. Be'lakor and the ladies over here killed that little unit of shotguns. Rolled an amazing advance here, went all the way around the building in order to let these girls advance and charge up there. We killed 2, we lost a bunch. But it's worth it, I think, to keep him hemmed in. So we'll see how it goes. This is Deathwatch turn 2 now. Alright, end of Slaanesh 3. Moving into Deathwatch movement turn 3. So he's already, I moved around here, failed to charge. So he's already moving up over here. He moved a big squad over here to kill my Keeper, and then everything else kind of moved in on him. So Be'lakor flew over, charged. The 3 over there moved over, 2 mid the charge. We were raising a banner over there. We're just trying to block out a little bit of movement and see what happens. He totally roasted last turn the 30 Demonettes with the aggressors, and we'll see what happens. Alright, end of Slaanesh turn 4. We had to come back and take care of these guys with the Keeper and make sure we got that back. She's only got 1 wound left from the shooting, from the flamers and stuff, so she moved over here. Attempted to charge, failed, but at least we still hold here. They raised the banner over there, and then the other Keeper that was back here moved 20, whipped into the squad with the flamers, and ended up charging and killing the chaplain. Now we've got Retribution coming in. So let's see how this goes. And alright, this is Deathwatch turn 4. Alright, just finished Slaanesh turn 5. On to Deathwatch turn 5. Last turn, these jump guys went up into space and they went in and landed over there. He's still finishing some moving. Didn't have a problem there. It's not going to affect anything. We were able to take this one back. They raised banners. She got over. We wanted to fall back here. We decided to risk it and go for a Hysterical Frenzy on Shalaxi. She didn't make it. but we were able to make the charge over here, and after some psychic powers and some whips, and then some charges, we were able to kill that squad, the heavy intercessors and eradicators. So now we will see what happens. We only have them two, those couple demonettes, and then a squad of demonettes left over here. Well, he's got quite a bit left still, pretty beefy. So we'll just see how it goes and come back at the end. All right, guys, just finished turn 5. So we were able to hold on to this objective here and this one there. We got 2 points for banners. He dropped in over here, took that objective, charged in here, killed Shellax who was shooting, wasn't able to kill her thanks to her 4-up invulnerable save, and then just focused on them to try and get some more no prisoners. And our screen worked. The aggressors went this way. So we're still going to calculate up points, and we'll let you know video.
Yeah,
okay, sweet. So we just finished up. What was your name again, bud?
Dave.
Dave. Okay. Thank you so much, Dave, for the game.
Yeah, it's great.
So we just finished looking at the scores. We're at 77 to 50, and so we were just talking a little bit. You were just mentally end of the day,
mental fatigue
drained.
played a huge role in this. So like part of it was in my head, this was a hold 1, hold 2. It was a hold 2, hold 3. So I was like 15 points less than I thought it was the entire game. So that was one issue. The other, there was like some minor play mistakes here and there, but the other issue was my secondary. I picked Stranglehold when I should have taken Abhor the Witch.
Yeah, that would have been a good one.
Because that's another 6.
That would have gotten you...
It's another 6 points.
Yeah.
That would have got me there. So between those two things, there's 21 points that I thought I had that I didn't.
Yeah. That would have made it... if you had those 21, it would have been 71, 77. Yeah, so much closer.
So those are like the biggest things. Part of it too was not this game in general, but my list. So
Death Watch are nasty.
They're fun.
Like you took a lot of shooting, but like the chapter tactics and stuff you were doing were for combat, so it's a nice mix.
Yeah. So I built this list and didn't get a response back on an FAQ until like yesterday. And so over the Flamestorm aggressors, there's a strat for Army of Renown where there's a few hoops you have to jump through, but effectively you pay 3 CP and you can auto-wound a target.
Okay.
And over in the UK and most of Europe and Australia, they've ruled it that you can use that strat with flame weapons.
Okay.
You can't do that according to them here, which is fine. But if I had got that before my list was done, which I had submitted quite a while ago,
that's a lot of auto wounds.
Then they would have been Bolt Storm aggressors. They would have been the Frag and Bolt aggressors, because that's still with a +1 to hit puts out like 50 plus.
It's a lot of shooting, like and it's consistent. You don't. It's not like you're gonna whiff on the D6s.
Right. So it's like it's just point at a target and take like 50 to 60 wounds.
Cool.
NEP1, I can make them ignore cover, all that kind of stuff. So those are a lot of my mistakes for that game. Also, the last time I played Demons was in 8th edition. So,
so you don't have many demon players in your local area, huh?
Not Slaanesh. We have a ton of Nurgle and a ton of Zinc, but no one plays Slaanesh.
Cool.
So I had a vague idea of what your army did. The one that was -1 to wound in combat threw me off. I know you told me that, I just totally forgot. And then Be'lakor, he has got like 20 rules, so I forget what half the rules are half the time. But it was a good game. I enjoyed it. You played obviously a tight game. You beat up a 5-man shotgun squad.
That
with
poor
three,
shotgun squad
with three
keepers.
I felt was a little uncalled for. It's a borderline.
I will agree. we probably need to file a report with the local authorities.
Yeah,
because that was abuse.
Yeah. I mean, there's literally a curb here, and I think he stomped one of them on it. So.
Cool.
Yeah, it was a good game.
Awesome. Well, you want to tell me a little bit about your 3D6 Wargaming there? Is that a local club? Or?
So this is actually a company. It's a company out of Maine. I don't know if you want me plugging this or not.
No, go ahead. I think I've seen, like, they sponsor some YouTube channels and stuff, right?
Yeah, so he sponsors it quite a bit. It's run by a guy named Justin Haglin. And they do, like, a lot of game accessories. So it's like tokens. If you see those neoprene mats that are the discs, he's the one that's done them. He's done like thousands upon thousands of them.
Oh, cool.
And then he does a lot of other neoprene stuff. So like the GW terrain format, he's like cut out those shapes with different terrain features. So a lot of people, their old terrain, you can just put it on there and be like, this is a ruin. And it kind of fixes a lot of old terrain people had. So that's what he does, and so
are they like a sponsor of your team, or?
Yeah, so our team is AP0 Tactics.
Okay.
But he sponsors us. So.
Oh, cool. And so are you guys from?
We're all from Maine.
From Maine.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's quite a.
So how was the trip out to Vegas here?
So it's a long flight. 7 hours is definitely a trip, especially for a larger guy sitting in a smaller plane.
Trust me, I know that one. Was this your first LVO?
No, this is my second LVO. I also went to LVTT in the fall, past fall. I tried to do a lot of like the northeast type stuff just because I can drive to that. So I go to a lot of New York tournaments and some mass tournaments.
That was like, do these still do like Battle for Salvation?
Yeah,
and
so that's
stuff?
the one. I go to the 2 Battle for Salvations. I go to the individual one, which I went, I think that was in November or something like that. And then I go to their team tournaments.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I remember hearing about Battle for Salvation from like, what was it, Jawa Balls back in the day, and Fritz 40k, and those guys, like, watching their videos and stuff was always awesome. Well, any final thoughts here on the game, I guess?
I mean, it was a really fun game. I enjoyed it. Your army is beautiful.
Thank you.
It's always fun. We got to play on a higher table, so the terrain was also beautiful, so it felt like a really immersive game.
I think we both came here and we're like, what are we doing at table 3?
Yeah. So we've got Daemons and
Deathwatch.
GW, please don't nerf us for getting a table 3.
Right.
I promise you they don't need it. But yeah, it was great.
Awesome.
Take some of the pressure off for me tomorrow because now I'm 2-1. So sorry, you got to deal with pressure.
You know what? I'm just gonna let it roll, man. Like, I didn't expect to do this, so anything else is gravy.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much again, bud.
Thank
Take
you.
care. Have a wonderful day.
You too.
All right, so that was the recap for day 1. 3-0. I was not expecting to go 3-0 day 1 for sure. A little irritated with myself that we totally forgot paint scores on game 3. It didn't affect the outcome of that particular game, of course, because it was on both sides. But it may have affected just our overall standings for the tournament. So I did end up emailing Frontline Gaming just to let them know. I'm sure it was already too late to do anything about it, but I wanted to at least make them aware just in case they could do something. So, yeah, 3-0 day 1. Awesome. So, stay and take a look for the next video, part 2, where we'll go over day 2. And our first game was against Black Templar. So we'll go with that. And I'll put a picture of the team grabbing some dinner after a long day 1. Man, try to go and grab some food there at the hotel. They ran out of food at the restaurant we tried to go to and closed early. So we had to try and find another place to eat. We found TGI Fridays at the Gold Coast, which was the casino next door, and man, prices were a lot more reasonable there. There was no waiting to get a table, so ended up being a really good meal, and had to go and get a good night's rest for the next day. So here's that picture, and you guys have a good one.